Hello and welcome back to another episode of Know the Good, Good to Know podcast. I don't know what episode we're on. Usually every episode I say we're on episode this, but I've lost track because it's been so long. But I'm back here today and I'm actually with a guest. As we know, Jordan is travelling in Canada, having a whale of a time. He does post some pictures on the Know the Good Instagram, so make sure you check him out. But today it's a little bit different. I've got a guest beside me. I'm really looking forward to talking to him. I'm really looking forward to what we're going to talk about. It's really interesting. So let's get straight into it, really. Let's just introduce yourself, I guess.
Hello, my name's Ian, and I'm from Candlekeep Ramsey.
Now, Candlekeep Ramsey, this is one of the big things I want to talk about. Candlekeep Ramsey. I'll let Ian go into a bit more detail about it shortly, but it's a tabletop gaming.
Officially, I usually say tabletop games and hobby shop. Yeah.
There we go, perfect. Yeah. You summarise it better than me. And a backstory of how we got to this path of how we got onto me wanting to sit down with Ian is so I've recently joined the community here at Candlekeep.
You have.
Shout out to Reese, he does usually listen because I knew Reese before. He played football with him.
Yeah,
and he also does my plumbing.
Yeah,
that's not like a.
It's done mine recently as well.
Oh, really? There we go.
Small world.
And I don't know how we got onto it. And he was like, "Yeah, I do D&D," and I was like, "I've always wanted to do it." He's like, "Come along." And I always thought in my head like. I was so worried, like, coming to where people are experienced and me being like the new guy, like, people get annoyed at me because I didn't know stuff.
Yeah.
But again, that's something I want to touch upon of how the community is just amazing here. But that's how I got here. So shout out to Reese for, telling me to come along. And I think it's been like 3 months, maybe 4 months.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's gone really quick, and I'm really enjoying it every Wednesday. Yeah. Plus, the Saturday I did play another game. That was amazing.
Yes.
So I want to do more of that. So
yeah, that's great fun.
Yeah. So basically, I've got a little bit about the podcast before we go on, because I've not really spoken about it too much. But Know the Good to Know podcast, myself and Jordan, who's in Canada, we set it up last year maybe because we want to spread good news. Yeah. That was basically the concept of the podcast. We'd find good news, get it out there, and just hope to bring a bit of positivity around the world, right? No matter how big, no matter how small, we like to shout it out.
I think the world could use a little bit of that now.
That's exactly the point. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on is, again, we'll get into a little bit more details, because what we're going to talk about, hopefully, I think it fits the genre. I think the people will like hearing about it, and I think it's very entertaining. Yeah. So I've got a few questions.
Ooh.
So yeah, nothing too crazy. I hope. I'm pretty sure you should be able to handle them. But first of all, I guess a little bit about you. What got you into sort of the gaming side of things? Bit of your background, and then I guess what led you on to coming to open a shop, I guess.
Yeah. It was my uncle when I was probably about 13 or 14 years old. He used to play this game called Dungeons & Dragons. A few people might have heard about it. And it always just fascinated me. He had this like huge collection of miniatures in his house. And they were always painted as well. I don't know, I found something quite sort of inspirational about that. I was always a bit of sort of like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit nerd as well growing up as well, so it sort of tied into a lot of like the books I was reading and stuff like that. Like I say, he sort of got me into it. I started with Magic the Gathering. That was probably the first game that I sort of stumbled across. But that game requires you to sort of keep buying cards and keep constantly upgrading. Okay. And then that's when I moved on to Dungeons and Dragons, because you like buy a book for that and you're kind of done. Yeah. The rest of it is entirely your imagination. Yeah. And I had, especially when I was younger, I had quite a vivid one, I think, sort of growing up. So
that's one of the biggest things I've noticed as well. People's imaginations here are crazy good.
Yeah.
Alex, who leads as DM on my table, like his imagination, and then obviously John, his imagination. I'm just like, I'm nowhere near. And when I describe D&D to people, I'm like, these people have like crazy imaginations. Yeah. It's so creative.
And it still astonishes me as well. You get so many people that come up with these like unusual sort of character concepts. Mm-hmm. Again, to sort of simplify it, in D&D you play sort of an avatar, a personification of yourself, if you like, and you get to be whoever or whatever you want to be. And there have been some really sort of strange concepts out there. We've got like in one of my games at the moment, there's like a social media influencer who's kind of got trapped back in time. So she's like lost her phone and stuff like that, but she still does her social media thing, and it's really crazy to see what people come up with sometimes.
So coming from that, then, what inspired you to sort of think, I want to open a shop, I want to have my own space?
I'm not sure, really. I mean, I'd always thought about it again from when I was a kid, because as someone that was into it myself, I would have loved to have had that kind of space to go to, so that I could sort of play this.
So did you? Sorry to interrupt. Did you grow up in the area then? Is that?
I did, yes.
So there was nothing for you in the area which you could.
Not really, no. Not back then. This was like 25, sort of 30 odd years ago now. There wasn't anything back then. D&D was very much a sort of underground nerdy hobby. You know, it's you kept it a secret if you played it back then. I'm finding it's a lot more mainstream nowadays, thanks to like Critical Role and Stranger Things. It's kind of out in the limelight now. But no, back then there wasn't really anywhere I could go and play it. And I always thought it would be cool one day if I was that guy that brought that to people. So, yeah.
And how do you think you've kept and like maintained that sort of community space and shop? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do I say it?
Yeah.
How have you kept it like inclusive and welcoming? Because you said you wanted a space to do it, and how do you think you've kept that space open and inclusive? I guess.
I mean, as far as inclusivity, I think when you walk through the door here, it you're past your background, and to a certain extent, it's like mental health issues. That none of that really matters to us. If you want to talk about it, I'm absolutely here for that. But if you want to just kind of leave that at the doorstep and just come in and just shut the world out for a few hours, we can support that too. And I try and hopefully I try and sort of instill that in everyone that comes and plays here. You know, it doesn't matter, race, background, upbringing, none of that matters. We're all here just to play the same kind of game. One of
the most powerful things that John actually said to me when I came here, that's really stuck with me. I don't know how we got into the conversation, but he turned around and said, "Look, for me, he's like, I suffer with heavily. I'm like quite heavily autistic, and this is the only place where I can walk through the door and leave the world behind me, and I can be in my own world and my own space.
That means I'm winning then.
It's my own, own comfort." And I just like, yeah, okay, because don't get me wrong, growing up, I'd probably fall in that category where if I heard of D&D, I would probably think you're a bit of a nerd. Like, I would fall into that category. I'm not going to like, but it's not until you grow up and you realise. I don't know. I think life changes, right?
It does. Yeah.
So, I get what are some of the challenges, I guess, with running the shop then? Because obviously you hold the D&Ds, but how have you kept it going for all these years?
I don't know. I don't know is the answer. I mean, I have to say it's the people behind me. I think it's the people that are coming in, the people that are sort of, I'm supporting them and they're supporting me back. If there wasn't that kind of two-way relationship with them, I admit I probably would be done by now.
You think you've built a lot of friendship over this?
I have, yeah. I've made some friends here. I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned John. I consider him now one of my closest friends. And the sort of changes and things that I've seen in him, I'm proud of him. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to let him know sometimes. I think that's the kind of thing that keeps me going. And I mean, obviously the money as well. But
it helps.
Makes the world go round and all that. So
is that what keeps you motivated? Then is the community.
It does, yeah.
That's probably, again, like I said at the beginning, that's one of the. So if you don't mind me saying, a few weeks ago you in a bit of a period where you thought you were going to have to close the shop off.
Yes, yeah.
And this is what really led me on to wanting to have a chat with you about it, because the reaction off the back of that was huge. The people were saying how much it meant to them, how they got a huge sense of community around it, and that really struck with me. Like, you're so right. Like, there's people that travel from quite far away to come here to do gaming nights, and meet up with people, and it's their little space, it's their little community. And it wasn't until then when you said you're going to close, and I was like, okay, that's quite powerful.
Yeah. And again, in that moment as well, it was the community rallying behind me, and reminding me that I'm here for more than just a shop. I think I lost sight myself a little bit of sort of why I started up in the first place, especially sort of like post-COVID and stuff like that as well. I'm not sure if I can use that word. I'm not sure if that's going to get bleeped as well.
we used to say it a lot.
No, there was a time sort of coming out of that period where I was very much sort of chasing the money, chasing whatever was popular, chasing the games and stuff like that. And I kind of lost sight of why I opened the shop in the first place.
So do you think your vision of a successful shop has changed then?
A little, yes. Yeah. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that it, the financial side,
of course,
wouldn't make it a success. But no, I mean, this isn't a place like Tesco's where you just walk in, buy stuff, walk out again. This is a place where you, like I say, come in and just leave the world behind, leave any troubles and stuff that you want at the door if you want to, or like I say, we can sit down and have a chat about those as well. I've learned a lot about myself in the process as well. Like my own sort of, the way my own upbringing may have sort of influenced who I've become today and stuff, just by having conversations with these people. So yeah, I love that sort of two-way feedback that I'm getting all the time. It's nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
So plans for the shop. Do you think what do you have a vision for the future?
I would love to open a second location somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That
amazing.
would be, that was always kind of the big dream. And I've still got one in the back of my mind as well, where I've wanted to run Monopoly tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can imagine some tables being turned over.
Yeah. Probably not a popular choice for a sort of tournament game. But
it's very random, Monopoly. Why Monopoly have all the games?
So there is a rumour going around on the internet that for every television set a household has, it also has one copy of Monopoly. It's kind of like that rainy day board game when I was growing up, especially. That my family wasn't really a big board gaming family, but whenever it rained, Monopoly would come out. So yeah, for me, it was kind of like that first sort of entry level board game. It was the one that we could all enjoy as a family.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in the sort of modern era of Euro games, it kind of gets shunned a little bit these days, but it still holds a place in my heart. So
what genre would you have?
So
you can buy all these like different genre Monopolies. What would you go for?
I mean,
would there be a particular one, or would there be like mix and match?
So I own 47 different copies, last I counted.
No, you don't.
I do, yes.
Of Monopoly?
47 different versions of Monopoly. I quite like the Warhammer 40,000 version, actually, as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only one I have is Pokemon.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I haven't played it in a long time, to be fair, but me and my friends, we used to have a games night every like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, but then one's moved to Australia, one's gone travelling to Canada, so we don't do it as much anymore. Then Sam, obviously, who comes here, we still see each other because through this. But so off the back of that, then, what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to do the same thing as you? If somebody listened to this now and said, "I want to be a part of that. I want to start my own shop or something like that in the future. I want to build to that." What advice? So, what advice could, if you look back at yourself? 2 questions, I guess. What advice would you give somebody? And if you to give yourself advice 10 years ago, what would you say?
The same kind of advice, really. You need to recognise that what you're about to do is not just open a shop. You're not just going to be selling things every day. I say the kind of people that I see are the kind of people that have had, potentially things like difficult childhoods, or they might have, let's say, growing up as a nerd, especially 30 years ago, would have potentially led to a lot of bullying, and that's kind of affected who they are growing up. You've got to be prepared to be a little bit of an agony uncle or agony aunt at times as well. You've got to be a shoulder that they can lean on more than just trying to constantly sell them stuff. It took me by surprise. I learned very quickly in the first sort of 6 months or so that that's what was going to be happening. But I embraced it. You can learn, you can adapt. And yeah, as I said, I've learned a lot about myself sort of well in the process. So
that's great. Now, on to some more fun questions, I guess. Okay. It might hit you a bit harder. What game brings more attention than you expected?
That's a difficult one.
Or about a tricky one, what game do you think deserves more credit?
I mean, I think D&D definitely.
You think D&D?
Yeah,
okay.
D&D definitely. There are a lot of people that are sort of interested in getting in there and having a go. And let's say because of things like Critical Role and stuff, it's been quite popularised. But there's also now this preconception that you have to do character voices.
Yeah, a lot of people,
stuff.
When I talk to people about D&D, they're like, oh, I was like, you should go. And they're like, no, I wouldn't be able to act it. I'm like, you don't have to roll. You don't have to role play there. some people do. You don't have to. It's not an issue.
No, we can break it down to just a dice roll if you want. If you want to walk into the bar and seduce the barmaid, we can break that down to just a dice roll. You don't have to chat me up. I mean, I'm fairly game for it if you do want to. But, you know.
So D&D. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I thought it'd be something a bit more niche, but
I mean, there are plenty of games, but like I say, at the moment we're really enjoying one called Halo Flashpoint. But that sort of game, that sort of changes almost every month. You know, there's always a new flavour every month. But no, I am still finding that there is a sort of preconception with D&D. It's sort of come out of the limelight, like I say, thanks to people like Critical Role. But now they've also created what we call the Matt Mercer effect, which again is this idea that you have to do voices and you've got to be, you know, really be into acting to be able to play it. It's not it at all. Not it at all. No.
Amazing. So, what events and stuff have you got coming up then?
Big one next weekend. Saturday the 20th of July. Sunday, sorry, the 20th of July. We're doing what we call the Pocket Money Magic charity live stream. That's for the local Sparks Club.
This was another thing I wanted to touch upon, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So.
That's fine. It all stemmed from an idea a while ago, probably about 3 years ago now, actually, where a friend of mine said that Magic the Gathering is expensive to get into. And I was like, nah. I could build one for, I could build a deck for pocket money.
For people that don't really know, could you give us a quick layman's terms of what it is?
So Magic the Gathering is a trading card game where you build a deck and you basically battle against your friends. You've both got a life total. Your deck is essentially your army, if you like, and you're summoning these creatures and casting spells. And you're sort of doing battle as though you're a wizard. You're pretending you're a paper wizard, as I like to call it sometimes.
Right. And you said you were doing it for a charity.
The Sparks Club. It's a local charity for people with additional needs. They are a social club of sorts, and they sort of provide other activities as well. Again, I picked it because it feels close to what I do. I do that by proxy. I do that because of the environment I've put myself in. They do it as their job, sort of thing. So, it sort of felt quite close to home.
So, if you can send me links to your, if you got a fundraiser or whatever, or a little bit more about the Sparks, I'll try and add it into the comments section. Hopefully, people will see it and see it and take a look. But that's amazing. And how can listeners, I guess, connect to find out more about you, your shop, what you do? Yeah, get involved. How can I get involved?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Google, type in Candlekeep Ramsey, I'm sure I'm going to pop up all over the place. I do like to put myself out and about, especially on like TikTok. I don't mind going on there and making a fool of myself for 15 seconds at a time sometimes.
I've literally just started doing it.
Yeah. TikTok's fun. Yeah, TikTok's a lot of fun. But again, Facebook, Instagram, all the usual sort of social media places. The name is slightly different in each place, but if you Google Candlekeep Ramsey, you'll find me. And
I'll echo again, it's anybody's welcome. And if you're nervous about it, then I can assure you now, you walk in here, you'll be open. You'll be welcome with open arms. People will take you on board, and they really will help you. I knew nothing about D&D when I walked through this door.
I was going to say, one of the biggest questions I get is there a beginner session? All of our sessions are beginner sessions. Doesn't matter how little or how much experience you've got. If we've got a seat, you've got a seat.
Just building the characters, people were helping me, going through the rule book with me. Even like the silliest little stupid questions I had, people were really good. Yeah. So, that really surprised me. It was amazing.
28, 30 years a veteran, I still don't know all the rules myself. So, that's normal.
Forever changing, right?
Yes, they are, Always adapting. So,
but cool. Right, I'm going to move on to another little fun segment I usually do. Yep. And it's called, it's about facts. I love facts. Okay. Right, so
I learned one today on the internet, actually.
You go first, can you?
It was about dragonflies.
Was this the one I did?
That's the one you did, yes, yeah.
You watched it?
Yeah, I Googled that to confirm it, but that was an interesting one. Yes. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let people go and watch.
The it's on the YouTube short and the TikTok. I do love facts.
Yeah.
And a little segment I do in each podcast is a thing called "Wow, that's good to know," and I tell 5 facts.
Okay.
So I've obviously themed them around gaming on tabletop games. So the first one is about D&D.
Okay.
So the longest ever D&D game has been going on for 43 years.
Yes. That's I wonder how long and what level they are, or if they even leveled up at all.
I read the article. I briefly read the headline about probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then we were doing this. I was like, I've got to add that as one of my facts.
Yeah. No, I've read about that one a few times before. Yeah, that's amazing.
Do you watch or listen to anything D&D related?
Or
you
a
quite
little, yeah. But if I listen to about more than 15 minutes, I get the urge to go and then play it. So,
Okay, the next one. This is another fun one.
Yep.
The largest ever D&D game gathering of people is 1,277.
I did not know that one.
That was in Utah.
Wow. Utah.
Yeah, in America.
When was that?
I don't know when.
You don't know?
I should have got a when, shouldn't I? This is what my Jordan used to say to me. He's like, "You got any more details?" I'm like, "Well, I probably should do that."
I feel like that might have been sort of like the late 70s, early 80s era, perhaps with Gary Gygax when he was.
Didn't he? Isn't he one of
the inventor?
Founder.
Yes, the inventor of D&D. Well, he invented chainmail, which then later got turned into Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, wow, okay.
But he was big on doing like convention games back then, so I feel like that might have been back in that era.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of dice.
Yeah, a lot of ones.
Don't tell me about it. That's why I'm buying some new dice, because I feel like mine are cursed.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a fun one as well. D&D is banned in some US prisons.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a funny one, right?
I know.
There was a list, but
Yeah.
I wasn't going to write down the whole list. But yeah,
That's a
it's
funny
actually
one,
been
'cause
banned in some.
I know it's also fully supported in others as well.
You'd have thought it'd
yeah.
bring people together, right?
It's a great team building exercise. It's great for sort of establishing friendships and problem solving and things. Yeah. Oh, that's an odd one.
There was another one about the problem solving is that children who play D&D are better when it comes to problem solving and maths.
Well,
which makes sense because
makes
you do
sense.
a lot of counting.
There's a lot of numbers. Yeah.
Next one, Mario.
Oh,
So
okay.
Mario was originally a carpenter, not a plumber.
Really?
Who would have known that?
That one.
I can't remember.
I mean,
what's his little sound? Mario. That's it.
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, it's me.
That's it, yeah. I'm a carpenter, not a plumber.
I wonder where that came from then.
Ah.
I know he was originally called Jumpman.
Was he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because it was originally never called Mario. It was just Jumpman. And then I think.
I mean, that's all he did.
Yeah. I think Nintendo wanted like a mascot. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Curious.
And then last one is Pac-Man was inspired by a pizza with a missing slice.
Oh, that one seems logical. Yeah. Yeah.
There was more to it as well. I wish I did this every episode. I'm like, I wish I would have done this, but yeah.
Cheese pizza with a single olive on it or something, perhaps. Yeah.
That's his eye. I don't know who's made up the noise. Yabba, yabba, yabba.
Yabba, yabba, yeah.
But yeah, that's my cool little fact segment I like to do each episode. But yeah, I guess anything else you want to highlight? I mean, this is, we're 25 minutes, so a nice little episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really, really love what you're doing here with the community vibe of the shop, and I'm going to continue coming here for a long time, I think. And my friend Jordan, when he gets back from Canada, he'll definitely be coming because he's got a crazy imagination. As well, so he'd love something like
I
this.
look forward to it.
So, but yeah, thank you very much for having a chat with me. Sit down.
No,
and have a
welcome.
chat.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it has. I'm going to come. I'm about to pack up and then buy some dice off you because I need some new dice. And then I'll be seeing you on Wednesday anyway for D&D session because I've missed the past couple of weeks because I've been away for work.
No refunds if they're all wrong ones, by the way.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, store policy.
I need to. I sit in here and there's like people have like literally boxes of them.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm so jealous. I've got my
Yep.
one Amazon pouch which I bought just so I could come and play.
There's never such thing as too many.
No, I
dice.
don't think there is. I don't think there is. People have some really cool ones as well. But yeah, thanks again. I appreciate what we do. Really looking forward to seeing about the charity event and great job what you're doing for Sparks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All the charity stuff that goes on around here, I'm fully supportive of. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate your time. And for everybody listening out there, thank you for listening if you did. Make sure you follow us on the socials. This is where Jordan usually comes in with the socials, like KTGGTKpod at outlook.com. That's our email. Look up KTGGTK or Know the Good to Know podcast on Instagram and Twitter, etc. You'll find us. Give us a shout out. Follow us on YouTube. Do all the usual stuff. Thanks again for listening. Anything you want to say?
Just go out there, play some games, do the silly thing,
There we
make
go.
some silly voices, roll some dice, have some fun. It's
Have
just
some fun.
a social activity at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
don't
I'll
be
end
scared of it.
I'll end it how I always end it, and that is stay positive. Thank you.